All right, I want you guys to close your eyes and imagine you are walking on a walkway towards a church. It's a snowy, cloudy December morning. As you open the church doors, you discover that you're at a funeral. The eulogy is given. The preacher says, Danny was a kind, loving, doting big brother who loved bodybuilding, race car driving, and had a special place in his heart for his mom. As you walk by the casket for the final viewing, you see the entrance wounds in his head that the funeral home tried to cover. When outside, you hear the heartbreaking sobs of his mom as she looks at her son for the last time. This was my cousin Danny. Sorry. Danny suffered from depression that led to a prescription drug addiction that ultimately ended his life. That's why this is so important to me. Let me talk to you a little bit about suicide ideation and mental illness. Mental illness is the leading cause of suicide. According to the American Psychological Association, as well as the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, 90% of suicides, or 90% of those who commit suicides have mental illness. The top mental illnesses are major depression, schizophrenia, and personality disorders. People ask why. Why did my friend, my loved one, why did they do this? That's the number one question that people ask. And oftentimes there is no answer. There are no clues sometimes. But I hope to empower you and give you some tools today that you can walk away with some signs that may help you to help your friends and loved ones. And now if you just see one of these signs, it may not be, cause for concern. But if you see several of these, then it could be cause for concern. So loss of appetite, change in behavior. So if someone becomes aggressive who is normally, even-tempered, someone who was very, outgoing becomes very quiet, very introverted. If they become anxious, have a lot of anxiety or worry. A loss of interest in things that they once loved. So they played baseball, football, basketball. All of a sudden they just stopped doing that, stopped wanting to do that. And excessive fatigue. They're sleeping a lot. The main concern, if they have several of these, is that they start giving away personal items. That's when you would really have cause for concern. And I got this information from the AFSP.org. So, what can you do? According to the National Institute for Mental Health, there's a 5-step rule or guide. It's not, perfect, but it'll give you a little bit of help because, a lot of times, like for me, when I last saw my cousin alive, I wanted to say something to him. He had tried before. And I felt like it was kind of a taboo conversation to have. I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable. But sometimes we can save people's lives by having those conversations. And the number one thing to do is when you see those signs is to ask them, are you thinking about suicide? Are you thinking about killing yourself? I know that's a rough question to ask, but it's one that's very important to ask, right? The next thing is keep them safe, right? So if it's your son, your daughter, or family member, and you're in the home, around the home, or have any control over it, first of all, stay with them if they're in the moment you feel like they're a danger to themselves. Secondly, keep them safe by removing guns, knives, prescription pills, even bleach, anything that they could use to harm themselves. Be there to listen, okay? It's so important that, no matter what it is they have to say, sometimes it's going to be something that don't really want to hear, but don't judge them. Just be there and listen, okay? And then also help them to connect. At the end of this, I'm going to give you guys a card that has a suicide prevention hotline. I want you to take that number and I want you to put it into your phones and keep that with you forever, so that if you ever encounter someone, friend, loved one, someone at school, that you will have that information readily available. And then last but not least, follow up. So if it's a friend or loved one, it's going to be a little bit easier. But if it's someone that, say, for teenagers, you see someone at school and you notice certain behaviors, and they're not really your friends that you talk to all the time, go back to them, stay in touch with them. Make sure that you stay connected with them. Let me close in saying that it's my hope that by empowering others to help in the fight for suicide prevention, the most preventable of all deaths, that I can be a voice for Danny and all the others who no longer have a voice. Thank you. You stop it?